have to remember that in the last message, we were on the mountain of God. Now I would like to ask, have we left the mountain of God? So what? We are still on the mountain of God to fellowship with Him. This is important. I must testify to you, when I was young, by reading some of the books, I got help from the so-called systematical theology, telling me that the law is altogether somewhat negative. So this impression entered into not only my mind, even my whole being. So I got a very negative impression concerning the law. So many years, I never got out of that, considering the law so negative. That's the law. That's the law. And today, I am under the grace, not under the law. So I don't like the law. The law in the Bible is not a good term to me. But gradually, when I got into this book, Exodus, I began to realize whatever is recorded in this book, that is from God and that is out of God, is altogether not negative. We shouldn't believe that anything that comes out of God should be negative, right? Logically speaking, in principle, everything, anything that comes out of God must be positive, right? It must be positive. The problem is this. Today, among the Christians, there is this kind so-called systematical theology. Merely, passing certain knowledge to people. If you consider the law merely in your knowledge, merely by your mentality, I tell you, the law is no good to you. The law becomes negative. But we shouldn't forget when and where and under what kind of a situation and under what kind of condition the law was given. Right? The law was given. Of course, I don't blame Paul. I was there with him in the trainings of Galatians. Paul in Galatians does say the law was given through the angels. I don't like to argue with him. But anyhow, I would say, Brother Paul, it is hard for me to find out that in Exodus, it seems it doesn't say the law was given through the angels. Right? Read all these chapters. The law was given by God Himself directly to Moses. If you don't believe me, let's read chapter 20 and verse 1. I neglected this verse for years and years. Just recently, this verse was picked up by my reading. Even this afternoon, I tell you, verse 1 of chapter 20 has infused a lot of life into me. So what? The word "and" is here. I'm so happy. In the first verse, "and" is altogether printed in the hair case. black type, right? And what does and mean? What does and mean? And means something, right? Something has been there already. I must share with you what thing has been there already in the foregoing chapter. That is in chapter 19. Well, don't forget, in chapter 19, God brought his people to his mountain. Right? Don't forget. Don't forget. The situation, the condition, and the place was altogether not in Egypt. Right? They all have been brought out of Egypt. And they all have been brought to the mountain of God. In the mountain of God, God gathered his people unto him. Not just into the mountain, but into the mountain of God. And that mountain was the mountain of God, where God was. So, when God gathered his people unto this mountain, it means what? It means God gathered his people unto himself. So, God was there.